here I have a timer that's stuck on here, and that will be powered. So this will go down. This right here, detector rail, will sense when that crosses, and it will send a redstone signal here. So this will go in a loop. I have these detector rails here just because I like it. I like using those. It activates that when it hits there. So you don't have to have it persistently lit. You don't have to have it turned on. It saves in a lot of ways. You don't have to have extra stuff. You don't have to use the pieces, the resources, and probably with lag because you're just turning it on. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I like them. You don't have to have these here. You could just have these powered to make sure that it continues around. So when I turn it on, it's going to go and go around and around. Then when I turn it off, it'll stop right there again. All right? So you can make this loop as long as you want. I could make this one a little bit shorter. If I wanted to, like, turn it right here, that would be probably the minimum. So it goes around and around and around. And what's happening over here, I have a simple, see the pistons? That one pushes down, sideways, that one pushes up, that one pushes over. So it's taking that redstone block and pushing it in a circle, well, a square. Boom, 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 boom. And so every time this pulse comes out, it hits each piston along the way. But this thing is traveling counterclockwise, so you have to do the signals clockwise, retroactively. So you don't want to push it here, then up, because of just the way the timing works. You'll end up having all of them extended. You want to push the one just behind where it was, then the one over, or you start here, watch. You'll see where it goes. If I don't mess up the track. Yeah. That's going around like that, counterclockwise, so the signal has to travel around clockwise. It's going to push the one right behind it. See? Pushes the one behind or in front of it, and it goes in reverse order. So what's happening here, imagine there's 4 lights here. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4 as that redstone is traveling around. So right here I have the output pulse. So that's your timer. Every time the redstone gets there, it fires off a pulse. And there you go. That's your timing. So you could make the feed tape system bigger. You could put multiple ones to make them exponential. Like I said, you can adjust this. This is your input clock. You could just use that as a timer also. So you could have a real long rail going, or you could have 2 of them. So every time this goes once, it'll push it 1 time, and it'll make 1 rotation. You can configure this however you want. It's very, very versatile, expandable, different directions, whatever you want to do. So you could take that pulse out of there and use that to fire off a farm every so often. You could use it as a clock, or you could even drive this with a clock. You could drive this with 1 of these, or use 2 of these, or 2 of these like I've done before, or just 1 of these. So that could be your clock. Just this rail could be your timer. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Fires off 1 piston at a time, 3 ticks of delay. So it goes 1, 3 ticks, next one, 3 ticks, next one, 3 ticks, next one, 3. And you don't want it connecting in a loop. You just want them to fire sequentially every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, terminate. 1, 2, 3, 4, terminate. And I put these lights here so you could see which piston is firing in sequence. And there's the timer. It goes top left, bottom right, top right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time it reaches there, it pulses that. You could even make it so there's enough delay where this will go one time and send a pulse, and then it will trigger itself again and send a pulse and keep progressing the block until you turn it off. See, it's like you want to push the piston in front of it first and then push it. If you're just using one block in a loop, you're going to have to always have a space. But if I just pushed over, then what? You wait for that to retract, then you have to push this one. If you do that, it messes up. You have to do it backwards. There you go. There's a timer. Yep.